Hey guys, what's up? My name is Tara Wilson, and just like the rest of you, I'm going to be talking about my predictions for the future of social and digital media and what I think that will look like in 2020 and 2025. So, my first prediction is about VR or virtual reality. And in the article that we read, that was called Predictions on the Future of Social Media, it said VR will feel like the early days of the game console market. Live action VR will also show promise as the language of VR storytelling develops. So, I think that VR will become huge. It's in the beginning stages right now, and I think a lot of improvements need to be made, but I think it'll be a trend that really catches on, possibly even the next gaming hype, instead of the Xbox or PlayStation. Or these companies will work together to create a whole new immersive gaming experience, and I think that would be really cool. For example, so my husband and I own a VR headset that we won from a company party. And we were really excited, but we've noticed that it does have a lot of issues, and probably because it's so new. Um, and also, a lot of the apps had some problems, and so I'm excited to see where it goes. But for now, um, I think a lot of improvements could be made. Another example, I think VR will help us with more real life situations in the future. Um, and what I mean by that is, for example, I know this couple who just barely started a VR business that has the ability to show people what their house will look like before or while it's being built. So this VR system allows them to walk around the inside of the virtual house, their house that soon will be their reality, so they can see what it's like, what they don't like about it, and what they can actually change before it's too late and their house is already built. So just more things like that, that will help us with day to day stuff. So I think that live streaming will continue to grow, and not just for personal use, but of for companies and their events. And I know that UVU has already been doing this. They've been live streaming events through their Facebook and Instagram accounts. But doing this will continue to grow more and more companies will do this in an effort to expand their marketing reach and customer involvement. And what I mean by that, customer involvement, is that um, most social media outlets like Instagram and Facebook allows users who are watching to comment on the live feed with questions or really anything they want to say, so they really feel involved with these events without actually being there. Um, and I think this will grow. Just for an example, is that Twitter has acquired Periscope. I learned in one of the readings we had, and Periscope is a live video streaming app, and they bought it for $100 million, and that's not a little amount of money. And I think that this just goes to show that live streaming is not going anywhere and it will continue to grow. Okay, and I also think that social and digital media careers will continue to grow as well. We'll see more of them as more and more companies realize how important it is to hire someone who just focuses on this. And marketing careers will continue to evolve as social media evolves and continues to grow. I think people in these fields will need to fully understand framing theory. It was mentioned in our book by Sheldon, um, and it's described as focusing on the way content of a message is delivered by media and then interpreted by its receivers. And so you really need to have a grasp of what that means if you're in a social digital media career, because you need to understand how you and your company is coming off to people and how to resonate with them. So I think also pertaining to this, it's called value frames that I think they need to understand, because from the book, it describes value frames as resonating with individuals' pre existing schema and reinforcing existing values. And so, for example, say you are developing um, a social media campaign for a hopeful government official who's currently running. So if you are developing that campaign, you have to know one, who you are marketing to, and two, what values those people have, because you really want to resonate them and feel like a relatable person, and so they will vote for you. Okay, so furthermore, in the IT field, I think professionals in this field will have to keep up and learn new skill sets for new products that will come out. In the Forbes article that we read this week, it said IT professionals will need to expand their reach to new software and devices. As the fields of robotics, AI, which is artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things evolve, many workers will need to develop new skill sets to manage these technologies. And so I think that's pretty self explanatory. Just saying that they need to, I guess you could say, learn to learn um, about these new products coming out and keep up to date, or find a resource where they can learn from about these products. And so they will still be relevant in what they know in their job. So, podcasts, I think the world of podcasts will gain traction. I don't see it becoming a huge thing for a long amount of time. I think it will be really popular up until 2020, but I don't predict that they will still be as influential in 2025. I think it might be a fad that slowly dies out by then. But I think even the subject of podcasts will continue to grow. So, like, I think subjects like news, sports, stories such as I'm really into like a scary movie podcast right now, and celeb news. And so I think as these continue to grow, they will grow in different subjects that people are interested in as well. So the next thing is Bitcoin. And even though anything about this wasn't in our readings or predictions of the digital world, and it might not be closely related in terms of social media yet, but what it is, it's a cryptocurrency, which means um, it's basically an online currency. It was created a few years ago, and transactions are made with no middleman, meaning no banks. So there's no transaction fees. You don't need to give your real name. And so a pro of that is all your information is completely private, and international payments are easy and cheap because Bitcoins aren't tied to any specific country. But a con is that since everything's anonymous, Bitcoins can be used to buy merchandise on the black market or dark web, like human trafficking and buying and selling drugs, which is not good. But I think more and more online stores will start to accept Bitcoin, and it'll just continue to grow because people are investing in it so fast. And I mean, I at least hope it will continue to grow because I've invested money. So that would be awesome to see. Okay, so we have talked about digital privacy a little bit, but I think in the future it will become more of a struggle and a debate, um, especially as more smart homes come into the market. For example, in the documentary we watched in the privacy section in our class, it was called The Power of Privacy, and it explained companies are creating new connected products to sense, learn, and ultimately predict our every need. So I think it's pretty amazing to learn of advanced technology in smart homes, but I think products in this category would have to have stricter privacy laws um, than anything else connected to the internet has ever had before. It's just too dangerous to have the possibility of hackers taking over high tech home products, and this could give them access to spy, rob, and other even worse outcomes. And so I think this is why it's really important for the push for digital privacy. And I think people will realize that, and it will just become hopefully better, and changes will be made for the better to keep people's privacy. And so that is it. Thanks for watching, guys.